Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Narayanam Namaskrityam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Daivim Sarasatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudhiraya.
Tato Jayamudhiraya.
Nastaprayeshu Vabhadreshu.
Nashtamayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There will be translation.
Hindi translation. Okay.
हिंदी में ट्रांसलेशन
Do you? Okay.
एक बरोबर प्रभु आपको हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन
Okay. So every morning in the Krishna conscious community, we will hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam and we will discuss the topics of Lord Krishna. The pastimes of Lord Krishna are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna speaking to Arjuna, giving instructions. But Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see all the books up there on the shelf. This Srimad Bhagavatam describes all about Lord Krishna and his different incarnations and his different pastimes as well, and his qualities, everything about Krishna. And there's so much to know, but you can see so many books there. Somebody said, you know, I showed somebody a Bhagavad Gita. He said, oh, do you read such a big book? You know, Bhagavad Gita is quite a thick book, you know. And he said, do you read such a big book? I said, oh, this is only one book. I said, we have whole volumes of books. And he said, oh my goodness. You know, today, modern times, people don't read very much. They have the mobile phone and they get the Instagram for a few minutes or something, and they think that's enough. But in the past, the great sages would spend their time hearing, and they would hear from Shastra, scriptures, books. They would read volumes of books, and they would remember everything too. We hear a lot, but we don't remember so much, right? It's difficult to remember everything because we're not so well brought up in that culture. But in the past, people had very good memories and they would hear very carefully. And everything they heard, they could repeat. Just like I was chanting the sloka and you were repeating, right? You know the slokas. You've learned them, maybe. You know the meanings of these slokas when we chant? I was in Texas one time, in Srila Prabhupada's time, in Dallas. And we have a nice temple there in Dallas, very beautiful temple. It's called Kalachandji, Radha Kalachandji. The deity of Krishna is called Kalachandji. And we have a restaurant there also, it's called Kalachandji's. It's very popular. It's one of the most popular vegetarian restaurants there in Dallas. So I was there and Srila Prabhupada came, and we had a Gurukula there. In those days the boys would stay there, young boys who would come to learn Krishna consciousness, you know. Their mothers wanted their children to become nice devotees, like here, this young boy, right? Nice devotee, chanting Hare Krishna with us in the morning. So the young boys would come and we would shave their heads also. This boy's got a lot of hair here. Right? But when Krishna and Balaram went to Gurukula, they also shaved their heads, you know. And they had a nice shika, a big shika. And you have a big shika, right? Anyway, the young boys were there, and Prabhupada would give Bhagavatam class in the morning. Every morning, wherever Prabhupada was, he would always speak from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because our different centers, we have that program that every morning we will read one sloka from Bhagavatam. And we would begin from the beginning and we'd go every day another sloka, another sloka. And each class would begin Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Prabhupada asked all the children, he said, what is the meaning? He wanted to know the meaning. Prabhupada, of course Prabhupada knew the meaning, but he wanted to check on all of us. He wanted to check on even the children, that they knew the meaning. They knew what we were talking. You know, it wasn't just just sit and go to sleep. Sometimes, you know, when we sit in the class, it's easy to go to sleep. Some people, there was one man, he came to Prabhupada and said, oh Swamiji, I have a problem. I can't sleep. I'm not able to sleep. Prabhupada said, it's okay, you just come with us. You know? And he brought him to the temple and said, now we're going to have class. Sit down, you know? And the man sat down and Prabhupada began his class. And after the class, Prabhupada said to the man, well, did you have a good? Oh, very good. Very good. So like that, you know. But of course that's not the real purpose of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you know. Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to awaken us. It's meant to bring us to full consciousness, you know. We have a number of songs which we sing as devotees. We like to sing the different songs about Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. And one of the songs we sing is about Lord Chaitanya. It begins, Jeev Jago. Have you heard that song?
Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago. Yeah, I heard that.
You know the song also?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You're singing these songs regularly? Yeah. So they wake up souls. You know, we're all sleeping. Although we're all spiritual souls, we're often asleep about the real purpose of life. Our only thinking is about the material needs. And we forget about our spiritual needs. So it's not that we're just sleeping, but it's that we're forgetting the real purpose of our life. That we have the human life. And human life is very special. It's different from the animal life, because human life is meant for something more. The animals, their business, they have 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Ashahara, Nidra, Bhaya, like Maichunadi. This is the animal activities. And human life, a lot of people, their only business is like that. They only think about eating and sleeping, working and making money. You come to Dubai and they think just work hard, make money, work all day, work all night, work on the weekends also, like that, because they want to make as much money as we can. But then if you die, what is the good of all the money, if you leave the body and all the money, what good is it? It didn't save you from death. So we have to understand human life is special. All the Vedas and all the scriptures, they all tell us about the importance of human life. That now you're the human being, the human body is very special. How many species of life are there? 84 lakh. And how many is human? 4 lakh, right. So only 4 lakh out of 84. So it's special to get the human body. There's so many people, look, so many houses, so many apartments here, so many people, but there's so many other living entities, right? There's so many plants and so many insects and so fish in the sea, everything. The human life is special. We have to know how to make proper use of the human life. So Vedanta, the Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra was written by Vyasadeva. Vedanta, Veda means knowledge, and Anta means the end of knowledge, right? And Sutra is condensed. You made it very short. It's very condensed. So when something is very condensed, you don't know, what the meaning is. It's hard to know what it's all about. Just if something is condensed. So Vedanta Sutra was written by Vyasadeva, but not everyone could understand it. They didn't know what it's all about. So therefore he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, right? But the Vedanta Sutra begins, how he begins the Vedanta Sutra, it says, Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Atato Brahma Jignasa.
Atato Brahma Jignasa.
Atato Brahma Jignasa.
Atato Brahma Jignasa.
Atato means now. Why does he begin by saying now? Because only the humans are going to read, right? The animals, they can't read these books. For the human beings, they say, now you're a human being, you have to understand what is Brahman, and other words, what is matter, and what is spirit. Spirit is Brahman. You see, we want to understand the spiritual nature. We're only conscious often only the material energy. Our whole energy is looking at, we go to the mall and we look at the shops and we're looking at all the material things. And we have the cars and the apartment, it's all material. We want to understand the spiritual nature as well. That there is two natures, there's the material and there is the spiritual nature. So the spiritual nature, that is Brahman. And we are also Brahman. Our real nature is Brahman, right? We're not the body, right? We are Brahman, but we're not Para-Brahman. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says to Krishna, Param Brahm, Param Dham, Pavitram Paramam. You are the Supreme Brahman. We're not Supreme Brahman. But we are Brahman, but we're tiny, tiny parts of the Brahman. Little sparks, like a little spark from the fire, right? We have the qualities, but different in quantity. Or sometimes we say the drop of water and the ocean, or this speck of gold and the gold mine. Right? So we're like that. We have the qualities of the Supreme, but not in the same quantity. So we have to understand our spiritual nature. And what is the nature of Brahman? We have to know the nature of Brahman is Sat Chit Anand. Sat means eternal, and Chit means knowledge, and Anand means, yes, Anand, right? Anand, we all want Anand, right? We want that happiness. Actually, by nature, we're all meant to be joyful because we are all Brahman. We're all spiritual beings. But because of our conditioning, we're identifying with the body. And we're thinking, I'm not happy, I'm not happy, I'm not... But actually, we're meant to be happy. If we understand we're Brahman, then we will be happy. Then we will be joyful. So we want to come to that consciousness. That is why we speak about Krishna consciousness. When we are Krishna conscious, we will be joyful. We will be situated on the platform of Brahman. And that is the joyful platform. On the material platform, nobody's happy. You're happy for a very short time. Little bits of happiness and a lot of distress, a lot of misery, a lot of suffering. It's the nature of the material existence. There are three different kinds of miseries: Adi-bhautik, Adi-atmic, and Adi-daivic. Right? Adi-bhautik is the miseries from other living entities. Sometimes you have a job and the people you're working with are not very, maybe the boss is nasty or something, you know. One girl I know, she got a very good job for the government in Singapore. She got a very good job, but she was working the supervisor is very nasty, you know. So sometimes you get the good job, but then some people make it difficult for you. So that's adibhote, miseries from other living entities. Sometimes it's mosquitoes. Of course, here you don't have mosquitoes. That's one beauty about Dubai, right? No mosquitoes here. But if you go to Bombay or Calcutta, so many mosquitoes, right? And then with mosquitoes, there's so many diseases also. And so this is the nature, adibhote, suffering. And adi-atmic, miseries of the body and the mind. So many parts of the body give us pain and trouble, right? To get pleasure, do you know, how do you get pleasure from one finger or from your toe? Do you get any pleasure? You can get a lot of pain from it. If you get an infection or somebody stands on your toe or you cut your finger, you can get so much pain, so much difficulty. But how to get pleasure from the body? You get any real pleasure out of this body? It's so difficult to get any happiness from the body. The body's just meant to give us trouble. But we have the body shop, right? You all know the body shop, right? You go to the body shop, it's all about make the body nice, you know, and feel good. And you forget about all the miseries, you know, with all the things you get from body shop, help you to forget the pain and suffering which the body gives. So adi-atmic and then adi-daivik, the material nature, gives us a lot of trouble also. Just like in Myanmar, it had earthquake, so much trouble. An earthquake comes, or sometimes tsunami comes, or sometimes a heat wave comes, or a drought comes. So many miseries of the material nature. So this is the material world. It's a place of suffering. So much difficulties are here. But we can overcome all of these difficulties if we become Krishna conscious. And how to become Krishna conscious? We have to it begins hearing about Krishna. We have to hear about Krishna, we have to chant. But even if people will say, I don't have it, I don't like it, I'm not interested. we get people to do service, because that is the nature. That is the nature of the living entity, that we like to serve. Everyone's serving, doing some kind of service. You serve, you maybe have a dog. I saw one man taking his dog, walking around the stairs, with his dog, and take the dog out for a walk. They have a special elevator for pets. People have their pets. They go in this special service lift, take the animals out. So serving the dogs, you have to serve the family, you have to serve the country. Trump is here, he's come to Abu Dhabi, right? He's serving his country, the American image like that. So the Buddhists serve, everyone has service, some kind of service attitude. The service industry is very much prominent all over the planet. And often people are engaged in service industry. And real service, what is the highest service? Srimad Bhagavatam says, Savaipum Samparo Dharmo.
Savaipum Samparo Dharmo.
Yato Bhaktir Adhaksaje.
Yato Bhaktir Adhaksaje.
Ahoitaki Apratihata.
Ahoitaki Apratihata.
Yayatma Suprasidati.
Yayatma Suprasidati.
Right? Sutta Goswami is speaking, because the Srimad Bhagavatam began, the sages in the Naimisharanya forest. Have you been there? Naimisharanya? You went there? Yeah? Yeah, you can go there. It's near near Lucknow. Yeah, Lucknow. Not far from Ayodhya also. You can go there and see the forest, Naimisharanya. And Sutta Goswami was there with the sages 5,000 years ago. Kali Yuga was beginning. So they were doing a sacrifice. And they had questions. And Sutta Goswami was to answer the questions. So one of the questions which they had, they wanted to know, what is the essence of all the religious teachings? What is the most important part of it all? There's so many scriptures. This is only one. This is only Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 18 Puranas. This is only one Purana. There's so many other Puranas. And the Puranas are only one part of the Smriti. In the Smriti, there's Mahabharata, and there's Ramayana, and there's so many other books. And then there's the Shruti, there's the Vedas, the 4 Vedas. There's so many books you could read, big libraries. So what is the essence of it all? They wanted to know, tell us, what is the essence? Because he knew Sutta Goswami had studied everything. He'd learned everything. He'd heard it all from Shukadeva Goswami also. And Shukadeva Goswami had heard everything from Vyasadeva, right? Srila Vyasadeva, his father. And so in this way, the sages asked Sutta Goswami, what is the essence of all the teachings? So he told them, Savaipum Samparo Dharma, the supreme occupation, Param Dharma. What is that Param Dharma? That is service to Vyasadeva. Savaipum Samparo Yato Bhaktir Adhoksaja. Bhakti to Adhoksaja. Who is Adhoksaja? Vasudeva, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the supreme occupation is not a doctor, and it is not a software programmer, and it is not whatever people want to do these days in the material life. But the Param Dharma, the supreme occupation, is to engage in the service of Adhoksaja, Lord Sri Krishna. And that service should have quality, a special mood in rendering that service, right? Ahaitaki. Ahaitaki means you don't want to get anything. we're not doing it to get something from. You know, material life, you go for a job, you want, how much are you going to pay, you know? How many holidays I get? What are the perks? You know, are you going to give me commission? Will I get a bonus every year? You know, so many things you want to know like that, you get a job. But devotional service is meant to be ahaituki, that we do it without motivation. We do it simply for the pleasure of Krishna. Right? Well, we may think, well, why should I do it for him? Well, you have to remember, we're also part of Krishna. So you do service for Krishna, it's also for our benefit, because we're also part with Krishna. We're part and partial with Krishna. Mamevam sajiva loke.
Mamevam sajiva loke.
Jiva Buddha Sanatana.
Jiva Buddha Sanatana.
Manashastani Indriyani.
Manashastani Indriyani.
Prakriti Stani Karshati.
Prakriti Stani Karshati.
Yeah, it's from Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is saying that the living entities are all eternally my parts and parcels. But due to conditioned life, they're struggling very hard with the senses, including the mind. Mind is like the sixth sense. Right? Why are we struggling very hard? Well, that is described also in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Apariyamitastvanyam. Apariyamitastvanyam. Prakritim vidime param. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho. Yedam Daryate Jagat. Lord Krishna was describing about the material energy, and he said, first of all, he mentioned about the elements of the material world. Bhumerapo nalo vayu. Kamano buddhir evacha. Ahankara iti yamme. Vina prakriter ashtada. He was describing about the material energy: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And then three others: mind, intelligence, quality. He said, altogether these eight comprise my separated material energy. Separated from Krishna. Just like you may have a husband, you may be separated from him. The relationship is not so good maybe, so you separate. So the material energy is separated energy from Krishna, like that. And so but then Krishna goes on and says, there's another nature of mind, right? We chanted the verse. There's another nature, and that is all the living entities, all of us. But we're trying to exploit the material energy. He said, that is why we're struggling with the senses, including the mind, because we're trying to exploit the material energy. We are also Prakriti. We are also Krishna's energy. But we are superior to the matter. Right? We're superior. We can move things around. The table say, don't move. The table cannot protest. The table cannot say, I'm not going to move. I want to be here. If we want to move the table, we can move the table. Right? That's the nature of matter. It's under our control. But we have to understand the matter is Krishna's energy, right? And we are also Krishna's energy. And we're all meant to be connected in the service of Krishna. Right? That's yoga. Yoga. Do you do yoga? Any yogis here? No, yoga very popular. You're a yogi Prabhu? Oh, good. So yogi bhakti yogi. We do bhakti yoga of devotion. That is the process by which we link, we connect ourselves to Lord Krishna by the mode of service. Our service should be, I said, ahaitaki, uninterrupted, unmotivated, right? That we're not thinking, what will Krishna give me? You know, sometimes people worship the devas and they go to the temple and they do the puja and they say to Krishna, they say to the deity, they say to the god or goddess, they say, I love you, but they're thinking, where's the money? Right? We think, you know, I want, you know, especially before exams, a lot of people, they go to temples, you know, they're worshiping. Help me do well in my exam. We have some motivations, you know. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a story about the boy Dhruva. He wanted a big kingdom. He had a big desire, and he got it, but he wasn't happy. He regretted that he had the desire. So anyway, we want to try to be without. You know, people with material desires, they can also serve Krishna. They can also be devoted. It doesn't mean because we are, oh, I've got too many material desires, I cannot be a devotee. No, if you have material, it's okay. You can serve Krishna also. Krishna said everyone can serve. Even we have our material desires. Krishna will help us to fulfill our material desires. Dhruva Maharaj got the big kingdom he wanted, but he regretted it afterwards. No, I don't want it now. But Krishna said, no, you wanted it, now you take it. And he had to be the king, he had to remain for a long time and rule the planet. Okay, so that's material desire, ahaitaki. We want to try to be without motivation, and apratihata, uninterrupted, continuous, right? People go to church on Sunday, rest of the week, you know, go to office, go to work, right? Go to casino, go to club, and go to church on Sunday. That's not very good. Prayer, the Islamic people also, they pray 5 times a day. But devotee of Krishna's pray all the time, right? Satatam kirtayan. We're always praying, we're always kirtaniya sadahari. You were chanting Shikshastikam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kirtaniya Sadahari, always chant the holy name. He didn't say just chant 5 times a day. I may say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Always hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, not just Bhagavat Sapta. You go to a Bhagavat Sapta and hear for 7 days and then never hear again. No, but we hear regularly, every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We have our channel here every morning in Dubai. Do you hear the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya every morning? There's a class.
Yeah.
You hear it, Prabhu? Good. Yeah, you want to hear? Yeah, if you don't have the link, you can get the link and you can hear every morning the devotees speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Every morning, for about half an hour, you know, 6:45 to 7:15. Here. And so that's the business of devotee. And when we do devotional service like that, ahaitaki aprati akat yenatma suprasidati, you can satisfy yourself. We will get satisfaction. We all want satisfaction. I remember when I was a kid, there was a song, I can't get no satisfaction, you know, there was one group, the Rolling Stones, they would sing this song, I can't get no satisfaction. So we get satisfaction, devotees get satisfaction by doing service to Krishna. It satisfies the soul. You see, this is the secret to satisfaction. We have to connect to Krishna, and then you can feel real satisfaction, real pleasure. In the material world, you can work very hard and not be appreciated. You can do so much for your company or for your family and relatives. You help try to do so much and they don't appreciate. But if you do even a little service for Krishna, Krishna appreciates. Neha Pikramana Shosti
Neha Vikramana Shosti
Ratyavayona Vidyate
Pratyavayona Vidyate
Swaupam api asya dhammasya
Swaupamavyasya dharmasya
Jayate mahatopaya
Jayate Mahatopaya.
So Krishna is saying Swapam, just a little, even you do a little bit of devotion. He said, in this endeavor, it's an endeavor. Yeah, we have to endeavor. We have to try to do this. But in this endeavor, there's no loss. You're not going to lose anything by serving Krishna. And you gain there's no loss of a little advancement made saves us from the greatest danger. Right? What is the danger?
Take birth and
Yes, take birth again, right? Lose the human life. Now we're fortunate, you have a good birth, you're born in a nice family, a cultured family, you're from Bharatvarsha, you have connection to the culture, so it's a good birth. So you're fortunate, Bharata Bhumi Tahalva Manushya Janmaja, very special birth. Take advantage of the birth. A little advancement made will save you from the danger. Prabhupada used to say, I see the Indian people today, they're so near to Krishna, but they're going away. If they would just go forward, they could very quickly become Krishna conscious. But instead they're attracted to the Maya, to the glitter, the bright lights, and the Western culture. You already have the best thing, you have the greatest thing. The culture, the Vedic culture, Krishna consciousness, it's a Vedic culture. So you have the highest thing. Take advantage and make a little more advancement, a little more progress, and it can give you the perfection of life. Right? Perfection is upon giving up this body, never come back again. Right? This is the idea. Lord Krishna is waiting for us all to come back to Him. But we're loitering in this material world. Oh, just let me enjoy more in Dubai, you know. Give me more time. I'm coming, Krishna. Just give me more. Krishna's waiting. So don't wait too long. Don't keep it waiting too long. Become eager to become Krishna conscious, right? To make progress in Krishna consciousness, three things are very utsahan, enthusiasm. You have to be enthusiastic for devotional service, right? We should be eager. Give me some seva. Can I do any seva today, right? We should be anxious to do seva. Seva means service for Lord Krishna. There's always so much service to be done. And then you can always chant also. Chanting the holy name, that's also a great seva. So we encourage all of you, take advantage of this human life and take advantage of the nice association here to go forward in Krishna consciousness. Okay? Are there any questions? Anyone? Anyone has any comment or question? Yes?
Prabhuji, they say that, like I've heard that karma hi puja hai, right? They say what you do with 100% without any cheating, honestly do your work. And I think in Bhagavad Gita also they say that you do your work and leave the fruits of that to God, right? So don't bother about the fruit. So is that also part of the service that we offer to the God, that we are honest about the job that we do, we are dedicated to the work, and at the same time also offering service to it, like as a daily puja that we do. We do puja also, but at the same time 100% on our job also. So is that also service to the Lord?
Yeah, an interesting question. Yeah, Mataji is referring to the verse in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a well-known verse. Maybe you all know that it's also Karmani evadikarasya Mapaleshu kadachana
Mahareshu kadachana
Karma pala heturbur One goes for Karmani. Yeah, Lord Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, he's talking about Karma Yoga, yoga of action. And he said, you have a right to do your work, you have a right to do your job, but you're not entitled to enjoy the fruit of the activity. Right? So you can, just like you do your puja, all right, and then you go to office, you go to work. So, you can do the job, but do it in consciousness of Krishna. Give the salary to Krishna, right? You don't give the salary to body shop. You go and buy all the makeup and everything, and buy new dresses, and have a nice big wardrobe. But you have to use your salary for Krishna's service. You buy a nice, make a nice altar, and you have flowers and offer it to Krishna, and you put new dresses on the deity, like that. So you use your hard-earned money for the service of Krishna. So that's karma yoga. Just like another difference between karma yoga and bhakti yoga. In bhakti yoga, we think everything is Krishna's. But in karma yoga, we think I'm giving this to Krishna. You know, I'm giving this to Krishna. But in devotion, we understand everything is Krishna's. I'm just giving what is his. It's not mine, it was never mine, but I'm giving it to him. He's allowing me to give it to him. And so like a subtle distinction between karma yoga and bhakti yoga. But karma yoga definitely can lead to bhakti. So if you can work in that consciousness that I'm working for Krishna, you go to the office. And Prabhupada also writes in the Bhagavad Gita that we have many devotees who are working in offices and even sometimes in factories, and they're working and they're contributing some portion of their salary to Krishna. And he said these people are actually in the renounced order of life. He said they're actually renounced people because they're dedicating, they're giving part of their salary for the service of Krishna. So that's very honorable, and you make advancement in that way, you see. And Krishna said, as you surrender to me, I reward you accordingly. And so it's what you can do, like you buy fruit and you offer them to Krishna, and when you cook at home, you offer it to Krishna. And in this way, everything is an offering to Krishna. And you think of your home, you don't think my home, you think Krishna's home. And I'm staying here as a servant of Krishna. So you can think like that. You know, that's karma yoga. And very good. It certainly frees you from sinful reaction. Frees you from the bondage to the material world. You don't get any karma if you do karma yoga. If you're working for Krishna, there's no karmic reaction. But if you're just working for your own self and for your own bank balance, then you get karma on that. You're going to be caught in the material energy. And karma can be good, it can be bad. But it keeps you in the material world. But when you offer to Krishna, it's taking you out from the material. So thank you for that question. Yes, yes, Mataji.
Maharaj, thank you for the nice class. My question is, we say the Paramatma talks, it's inside us and it responds to us sometimes. How to understand if it is the Paramatma or my false ego is talking to me?
Yes, yes, an important question. How do we understand if actually it's Krishna speaking to us or if it's our false ego? We cannot just simply depend on Paramatma because we're not so pure. It may be that it's our false ego. So we check, guided by sadhu, shastra, and guru. You need to have these things to guide us, right? The sadhus mean the holy men. You have to hear from different spiritual teachers. And then shastra is there. We have to see what is the shastra saying. And we have to have guru also to tell us what is proper. You know, from the heart, we mean, oh, Krishna's telling me it's okay, I can smoke cigarettes and I can drink champagne now and again, and you know, Krishna told me so. You know, so we have to check with them. You know, check sadhu, shastra, and guru. Is it actually true?
Yes.
So these are the authorities, right? And there should be agreement between the sadhus and the shastra and the guru, that they should all say the same thing. If they don't, then something is wrong. And so in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna also quotes sadhu, shastra, and guru. So 13th chapter, verse number 5, you can see Krishna's quoting shastra and telling Arjuna. Yes.
This shloka is
That is 16th.
that is 16.
13th chapter, verse number 5. He talks about Vedanta Sutra. Okay?
Krishna, we just have to share one realization. So, just want to share one quick realization, Mataji. Very fortunate to meet Prabhuji at Anandam Prabhuji's house some time back recently. We came last time.
year for Radha's birthday.
Yeah, so it came that, and I was having very difficulties in chanting and irregularities in chanting, and which has improved by the mercy of Maharaj. And when you mentioned the sadhu, I just remembered that this was one realization I had. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So similarly on the chanting, Maharaj, my wife Nalini, she is devotee. Okay, I think it. So I whenever I meet, like people like you, I do a friend that okay, I'll do my chanting, I'll honestly do my chanting, but I'm not able to do that. Every time I promise, even I went to get the Maharaj and I said in the figure that I'll do this much chanting every day, but unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. Whether some sort of karma I'm going to get or how will that be? I mean, I do chanting, but not the attentive also you can say, but what I like suppose I say 4 or 8 rounds I want to do, but I'm not able to do. Sometimes I feel I have time also, but I'm not able to do. So what is the easiest way, like how easy this is, chanting is improved, and what should I do different to get back?
Well, what we're encouraged to do, to get more taste for chanting, we're encouraged to do service.
Like?
Do service, just like serving prasada and cleaning up after a program, putting things away, and helping to cut the vegetables, go to the market, bring the vegetables, and this service. By doing service for the devotees, it is stated like that in Srimad Bhagavatam, that by doing service, then we will develop more taste for hearing and chanting. So service comes, you can feel like first. It gives us more sukriti, you see, and it will qualify us more for to do chanting. Association is also very important. You know, you go to live in a holy place, and then you get association, you get away from the materialistic society, and just try to be in a spiritual place, and associate with people who are chanting every morning, and then you can also do it. It's not very difficult. It just takes some habit, developing the habit. So if you can get the right association, the right environment, then that can make it also very easy for you. You go to Mayapur, stay in the holy dham there, And wake up every morning, go to Aarti and then chant in the temple room. You can see everyone chanting. So you can do like that. Some holy places, wherever there's a temple with a community of devotees, and take part in the program, spiritual program. Just like I said, here in Dubai, we have the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every morning you can hear Srimad Bhagavatam. 6:45 till 7:15, there's a class. Somebody's speaking one sloka of the Bhagavatam and discussing it.
I read a sloka every day.
Yeah, read, but it's better to hear from others and discuss it. More important than reading is hearing or explaining and discussing, right? If you try to explain what you read, that's more value. You can read it, it's just a reading exercise. You may not understand what you're actually, or may not appreciate what is being said. But if you have to explain it, then you have to know more about it. So discussing together, that's why we have these programs like this morning, getting people together, discussing together. That's very helpful. We have also Bhakti Briksha groups, and they get together and they will discuss the scriptures. It's very powerful. Reading is good, but better is discussing with other people. And chanting, again the chanting, you want it to be regular. You have to make a commitment to yourself, you see? You have to make a commitment, just like waking up in the morning. It's important, you have to wake up, take advantage of the morning hours. Like we're meeting in the morning, it's a better time in the day for these activities. So you want to do chanting regularly. The morning time is the best time. It's easier then. Before you go to office, before you get all the phone calls and all the messages and things, try to do the chanting. You have to make some kind of vow that I'm going to do this, that this is important. Some things are very important. Maybe you have to meet the bank manager or something, It's important, So you have to think of chanting like that. It's very important. I have to do it. This is how you get the spiritual strength to go forward in Krishna consciousness. You make some vow that I'm going to do this every day. That's why we have Diksha. We have people, Jatadaka Swami gives initiation, he's got over 70,000 disciples. And they're all chant, they make a vow to chant every day. And the chanting becomes pleasure, just like you eat every day, you don't forget to eat, and you sleep, you take time to sleep. These things you do, and something's important, you do it. So when you understand the importance of chanting, then you will also do it. You want to do it, you make a point to do it. And like I say, very good time is in the morning, early morning. We try to wake up early. If you go to holy places, you'll see they're all up by 4 o'clock in the morning. You go to Vrindavan, there's a big crowd of people outside the temple waiting to get in. As soon as they open the doors, big crowd of people all storming the temple. And they're all there for the Aarti, 4:30 in the morning. And some of them some people travel all night just to get there for the program in the morning. And so they're serious. They make a commitment. They want to be there. It's important for them. So we have to think like that. This chanting is very important. My spiritual life depends on it. Material life, you depend on your money, your health and these things. But spiritual life is even more important than that. And chanting is the root, the basis of your spiritual life. So you have to do this chanting. And when you become more serious, then you make a point to do it every day. So this is the lifestyle of the devotee. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question. So I have so much difficulty at chanting because I'm too busy with all the classes and all. So thank you for your class. So now I can chant.
Haribol.
Very good. So we bless you. More chanting.
Haribol.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
It's in Hare Krishna.
Alright.
Oh, because Maharaj has to go to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a program. So another half an hour he has to leave. So thank you so much everybody for coming. And thank you Maharaj for giving us all your association and blessing. Wonderful. You have inspired everybody to chant now. I hope everybody will take this as a commitment in their life to be more serious in it. Because as Maharaj said, this is important for our spiritual life. We spend time in chanting. So let's all thank Maharaj by again chanting Hare Krishna Mahamudra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare